Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? My name is Michaela. I'm from Paint Fixation in Middleburg, Florida. And today I'm going to show you how to paint a front door. And I am not getting on this new bandwagon about the front door. I have been wanting to paint my front door for a long time. I'm just taking this opportunity to do it. So if you come on, hey Melissa, if you come on, please ask any questions that you have, and I'll be happy to answer them. And if I don't see them, my husband is over there watching, so he can give me a heads up if I miss something. So I'm going to be painting my door Antebellum Blue, but before I show you that, I'm going to tell you what I've already done to prep it. So this was just one of those ugly builder doors. See, it's ugly, white. And I've lived in this house for, let's see, my daughter's 19, so I've been living here for 18 years with this door. So we have had, thank you, Melissa. Melissa and I haven't seen each other in a while. We miss each other really bad. Okay, so the doorknobs on here were the original doorknobs. They were ugly, ugly, ugly. So we've already taken those off, so I don't have to paint around them. I have a really pretty handle I'm going to be putting on there. I finally talked my husband into a new handle. And also, it was, because this is a metal door, it had a lot of pitting in it from the age. So to prep it, I have put on a product called Prime Start. This is kind of an experiment for me. This product, let me show it to you. I think I have it over here somewhere. Did I bring it in here? Hang on one second. What did I do with it? Darn it. I thought I had it right. Oh, it is right here. I just need to look. Okay, so this is the Prime Start. Hey, Aunt Kate. Okay, so this is the Prime Start, and this is a product from our patina line. And what this is used for is when you use our patina paints, you use a spray that activates the patina. The paint has actual metal particles in it, and so it activates those metal particles, and it starts a natural patina. And it continues to patina for some time. And if you're painting it on metal, it can actually patina into the metal. And so what we do is we add this primer on here, and it keeps the patina from continuing to corrode the metal. So my thought process is, if it does that, maybe it'll help. This didn't have a lot of rust on it, but it had little teeny pits, almost like freckles, around the doorknob, some of it up here, just where it got wet from the rain and stuff from outside. So I have covered this, and I didn't think I was going to be doing the whole door, but because it needed so much, I went ahead and did the whole door so that my blue will have an even finish on it. So that's what this is. That's what this orangey red is. This is not the color it's going to be. So after this is dried, I went over it with my finishing pad. Okay, and I did this because when I do a sand of my Antebellum Blue, if this has any little knobbies on it, if there's anything lint or anything, or animal hair, we have several animals walking around here while I'm painting, this will knock it off. Okay, so I just went through and I just wiped it all down and I gave it a good push on there to make sure that any little knobbies or something are knocked off, so that when I sand through the Antebellum Blue, I'm not getting any red coming through it. Okay, so that's what I did right before I came on. Went ahead and got that done. And there's still a little bit, this door's old. This is not going to be a perfect finish, but it's going to be beautiful to me because I can't afford to get a new door right now. So I'm thrilled to be doing this. So the color that I'm painting it is called Antebellum Blue. Okay, that's this color right here. All right, and I'm not sure. I'm getting new stuff on here. I hit almost 1,300 followers, and all this new stuff is coming up. I'm not sure. I think this means that I'm waving it. I don't know. I don't know what it means anyway. So here's my Dixie Belle, okay? And this is the Antebellum Blue. And this is a really dark teal. And I think it's going to be really pretty. If you can see outside, I have, let's see, can we see? I have the red brick. See the red brick? And I was thinking that this would look really pretty with the red brick. That cat better stay out of here. Kenny's on cat patrol. He's supposed to be keeping all the animals away from me, but I'm not sure how that's going to fare. This is the first time I've painted with open paint color with my animals within walking distance of me. Usually I stay in my room all huddled up away from it ready. Okay, so I've got my water mister here in case I need it. What I'm going to do is my first coat, I'm going to do a very light coat because especially since this is a slicker surface, and I do have this primer on here, I just want to make sure if I do a thin coat and let that dry good, I know that the second coat's going to stick even better. If you put a really thick coat on first, you risk adhesion issues, okay? And I didn't want to use slick stick on this. I don't feel like I need it because I had to sand this pretty good because of all the pitting. And because I had to do that, I know this has got a good tooth to it, okay? And so this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start out with just a little bit of paint on my, this is my flat medium Dixie Belle synthetic brush. And these brushes are really, really good for preventing brush strokes. And I'm going to start inside my, I don't know what you call these things. What would you call this? Insert. And I'm just going to put a light coat for my first coat. Dixie Belle paint is self-leveling. So this paint, as it dries, will level out. Don't sit him, just come get him. I don't know if you're making that noise at me or the cat. My husband's over there making a pss, pss noise. And so because this self-levels, I'm not going to have hardly any brush strokes. I might have a little bit from the primer, only because I just kind of put it on here. I'll be honest, I just slapped it on here. This is all just kind of an experimentation of how this works out for me. So I wanted to do it without a roller, without a sprayer, and see how what kind of a finish we can get. But I know that because this is self-leveling, it's going to have very, very few brush strokes on here. So when you come on, tell me where you're watching from. Let me know if you've ever painted your front door. I know if you're from Florida, this could be tricky. So when I'm done with this, I was discussing this with my husband earlier about what kind of a top coat that I want to put on here. And I have two options that I can consider for me. Gator hide, which is our water repellent top coat, and hemp oil. And hemp oil is a product that I would only use on a darker color like this. I would not use this on a white or a gray or anything like that because it does have an amber tint to it. Hopefully this will be dark enough for it. And I think that's what I'm going to use. It also has a water resistance once it cures, but it leaves a matte finish. And so I don't know about you, but anytime you've had a new house, when you buy a new house, the builder is always going to put matte paint in there. And I swear it's because they do it to hide all the imperfections. Because flat paint hides all of the dings and scratches and nicks, and I swear that's why builders use it. I want y'all to see, can y'all see the coverage on this? I'm going to pull you in just a little bit. I am really, really pleased with this. I mean, I'm barely going to need a second coat on this. I've been using this paint for over 2 years now, and I'm constantly surprised at the quality of it. I mean, I'm using very little paint, and golly, I'm going to need to do maybe just a spot second coat. I'm impressed. Not all the colors are as pigmented, obviously, because any color, even if you get any paint brand, doesn't matter what it is, it requires different chemicals in the paint to produce certain colors. And so, like if you look at when you can at Lowe's or Home Depot, it'll say like medium base. There's a couple different bases that they have, but like red. So you can see this primer did not cover this very good at all. There's all kinds of white showing through because red it's really hard to cover up with red. If you're ever going to paint with red, it's really smart to do a gray primer first, because if you do a gray primer, then your red will cover much better, and you'll use less paint. Primer is always cheaper than paint on like wall paint, and so it's best to use a gray primer first with red paint, and that way you'll use less paint and it'll save you money. Otherwise, you'll be doing coat after coat after coat of your red paint. I love this color. Oh, I just bought a new rug for my dining room, and it may or may not have this color in it. It's hard to tell online, but I think it has a little bit of teal in it, dark teal and navy. I'm thinking about painting the other side of the store too. I wasn't going to, but I'm so in love with this color.
Somebody was asking about, did you put slick stick? What's the name of the orange stuff you put on it?
Prime Start. So whoever asked about slick stick, I did not. I used Prime Start because this door is metal and it has some pitting, and it's kind of experimental for me. I'm pretty sure that the Prime Start will help prevent the rust from coming through, because it helps prevent the patina from continuing the patina on metal products. So, in a few years, I'll find out. But no, Debbie, I did not use slick stick. And the other reason, even if I didn't have to, hi Sherry, I sanded this door with I used my surf prep, and I used a medium coarse and a fine coarse grit on a medium grit and a fine grit on my sander. So, because this is not raw metal, this has got I guess it's almost like it's a paint, but it's a factory finish. So when I sanded it, it gave it enough tooth in order to grab onto the paint. So I wouldn't have had to use it even if I didn't use the Prime Start. I'm going to back y'all up a little bit and see if you can still see. Can you let me know the comments, because I'm going to keep the comments slid away so I can see what's going on here. I can't see anything because I'm using the portrait mode on this, and so I can't see anything on it. So just keep me informed, if you will. It's so funny because when I first started going live, I was so nervous, and I was even more nervous if Kenny was home, my husband. I don't know why, because a lot of the other retailers have their husbands help them, but there was just something that made me nervous about it. And especially you guys that are watching that know him, you might get an idea of what I'm talking about. But anyway, in the last few lives, he's been so helpful, and now I'm all cool with it now, so I don't have to worry. But for you guys that are just jumping on, this is Antebellum Blue that I'm using, and I gotta say I've used this paint many times, but I've never used it in this fashion before, and the coverage on this is amazing. I know y'all have got a glare, but I'm telling you, I feel like I almost am not going to need a second coat. I mean, I'll put a second coat on there because that's just how I am. I like to do that, but I may only need to do, gosh, I may not even need a second coat on this, guys. I may just touch up. I'll let it dry and touch up any areas that look like there might be a little bit of red peeking through. But if you're thinking about painting your door in a teal or a blue, this color, it would be my color. This would be my color to go to. And I think this is going to look really good with my my front of my house is red brick with dark grout, and I think this. Although I have a storm door, as you can see, so you know, who knows how much you'll actually be able to see this, but that doesn't matter. I know it's there. And I'm getting me a really pretty handle. Kenny, go grab the handle and let me show everybody the handle. Go grab it. Huh? Hey, guys, my husband just said that y'all don't care about the handle. Tell him different. I know you care. They care. You kidding me? Y'all care. Don't you care? So look at this. Just put it in front of the camera. You don't even have to put yourself in there if you don't. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? You have it upside down. It's upside down. That's what it's going to look like. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, I can't wait. Okay, you can go now. Thank you, honey. I'm loving it because I'm coming from the stinking builder's knobs that had, oh, they were gross. I'm embarrassed actually by how gross they were. So in here I can see a little teeny bit of indentations where the pitting was, but because I'm using the hemp oil on this and it's going to have a flat finish on it, they're going to be just about, not, I probably won't even notice them. You'll have to really look for them to see that they're there. Yes, my cat is like right in front of me and he's being a good boy by not coming over here. I've got the rug over there that was over here, so he's curled up on it. Okay. So now I've done the inserts. I'm going to work my way around. I should have mentioned that my brush was damp when I started. This was the brush I used earlier. So it was already damp from me rinsing it out. Otherwise, I would have given it a spritz. Because if you use a little bit of water, then you're going to get even less brush strokes. But I'm going to show y'all after this dries a little bit. There's very minimal brush strokes, and the brush strokes that I do see are probably they're coming from the primer. If I had taken a little bit more time to make a, you know, I mean, if I had to do this over again, maybe I would have used a roller with the primer, but not with the paint. But I'm okay with it because it's so little. I mean, it's really not much at all. And I'll show you in just a second. I'm just going to work my way down. Any other questions? Any? So as it's drying, I'm seeing a teeny bit of the red come through, which you probably can't see. Let me pull it all back over here. But as you can see, there's really good coverage. This is still wet in here. That's still drying. And this brush that I'm using, this is the flat medium. This is an awesome brush. I've been painting everything in my house for years now, and I've always used good brushes. I always use Purdy or what are the other ones? The ones that begin with a W? Mostly Purdy is what I use. But once it took me a while before I changed over to these brushes, but I like them better. They clean better. They clean so much better, and I don't know, it's like, I don't know. I can't describe it. It's just, the paint just goes on so nicely. I kind of equate it with having proper tools in the kitchen. So you don't want to cut your food with a dull knife. I feel like it like that. Like when if you're going to paint quality finishes, you have to have quality products. And these brushes are just it for me. I love them. I still have my Purdy's, but I have not used them since I got these brushes. They're still sitting in there. Now see, I have a little, I don't know if you can see where you are, but right, let's see, where is it? Right in here, there's a dent, probably from when the kids probably came in here and hit something against it, or me. That will be very unnoticeable with the matte finish. You won't even be able to see it. And the weather is really yucky today. But when you're using chalk paint, the humidity doesn't really matter too much. I'll bring y'all back up here. It's hot in here. I don't know if it's because I'm right up against this door. So, is anybody from Florida on here or in this area? I know our beaches opened up a little bit this past weekend. I wondered, did anybody go? I wanted to go so bad, but I just didn't. I never could find the opportunity to go. And there's like right in here, there's a little bit of a rough area from where I've hung my wreaths up for the holidays and stuff. Gosh, I'm just really impressed with this. There's just, as it's drying, I'm getting a little bit of the primers, just a little bit coming through. So it's probably only going to take one more light coat. And as you can see, I'm using an 8-ounce container, and I haven't even used a quarter of it yet. If you use a damp brush, the paint goes really far. So, you know, if your paint starts to drag, then you know you need a little bit more dampness. You'll get the feel, once you start using it, you get the feel of it, and you'll know when it's time to mist it a little bit. And I just wanted to show y'all how quick, like probably the longest it took me was to sand it, just because the pitting was really bad around the door handle, and I wanted to get it as smooth as I could. And there's my dog. She thinks she's going to come over here, but she's not. Ari Tootie. That was my mom's dog. So, has anybody that's watching painted their front door? And if you have, what color did you choose? Because I tell you, I had a hard time deciding. Everybody in this neighborhood has like black or red. There's a couple, I think there's a green one. There might be, I don't know, there might be a blue one. I don't remember. Mostly black and red. And black would probably have gone good with my red brick, but I didn't want black. After I'm done with this first coat, I'm going to show y'all the top coat that I'm going to put on it. And then I want to show you a little, one of my favorite things that we have that I like to use. bring you over here a little bit. Sorry, guys. When I'm concentrating, I can't talk and paint at the same time. I'm sitting here thinking and if you're wondering about me using a chalk mineral paint on a door that's exposed to the elements, not a problem. Dixie Belle Paints is cures in 21 to 30 days. And I did a outdoor pot. I painted a terracotta pot, and it has a plant in it, and it's been outside. My son has it now. But I didn't even seal it. I didn't put any gator hide on it. I didn't put any satin, nothing. I didn't put any clear coat on it, just the paint. And it had stayed inside for a little bit because I had it for sale. And actually, that's not one of the ones I had for sale because I had our initial on it. But it stayed inside for a while. And then I put a peace lily in it. And it's been outside in the Florida weather. And if you know anything about Florida, our weather can be harsh. And that sucker looks like the day I painted it. Even with the plant in it, even with paint. I didn't even paint the inside of it. So, see, I got some prime start right there, but I'll get that off. That has to be painted anyway. And here's where all the pitting was. And you can still see a little bit of it. It feels smooth, but you can still see some of it. But I think that once I get the matte top coat on here and it's a nice flat, right now it's shiny, but as it dries, all of those imperfections kind of go away. And I was thinking about that today when I was trying to decide what top coat to put on here. And I started thinking about builders and how crooked they are and everything. Hopefully none of y'all are builders, but you know how builders can be. And I thought, that's why they use flat paint, because then you don't see any of the boo-boos that they made until you go and paint it with a decent paint, with a satin or whatever. And then all of a sudden, you see all these dents and cracks, and I don't know about y'all, but that's my experience, okay? That's just my experience. I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me this afternoon. Ooh, and if any of y'all want to see how the patina works, I posted a picture on my page yesterday, I think, or the day before. I did a pot for my neighbor, and we used the patina paint, and it turned out so cool. And so she's got another one that needs to be painted the same way. And so I asked her if I could use it to do a live, and so she's like, sure. So I was kind of waiting for the weather to clear up a little bit because it's a really big, heavy pot. It's got a plumera plant in it, and so I'm going to have to do that outside. And so I'm waiting for this weather to clear up some because I don't want it to get wet. And we had some really bad weather yesterday. But if you are interested in seeing the patina paint, because I'm using copper and bronze, and those two paints react very quickly, like almost immediately, as opposed to the iron. The iron takes a little bit longer, although the iron is my favorite. But if that's something that you want to see, you really need to watch that live, because with those, particularly with those two colors, it's a immediate satisfaction. And just like that, we're done. Look at that. Okay, now I'm going to show you close up. Let me put this here. Let me split on here. Can you grab me a sandwich baggie, please? Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all up close here. Okay, so can you see? This is dry right here. This is dry. And I'm going to bring in let me see. It's getting to be afternoon here, so the sun is. But do you see that there's hardly any brush strokes in here? They're very, very minimal. So I'm going to put my brush in this baggie. If you don't know this trick, I'm sure most of you that paint do. But since I can't wash this right now, and I don't want it to get hard, I'm going to put, will you do me a favor and get me the scrubby scope, both of them? I want to show them what I did with that. So after this dries completely, what I'll do is I'll give this another light sand with my finishing pad. And that way it'll knock off any little knobbies or anything that's in the air that got into the paint, which I don't really see much. Do you like it? It's pretty. This is going to look gorgeous with that brushed nickel handle that we got. So after this dries, which won't take long, in a half an hour or so, I'll be able to paint my second coat on here because I know my husband's really antsy to put that handle on because, it's going to be so easy. And so he says, I'm going to put the handle on. And he's laughing because it's probably partially true. But, so I'm really, really happy with the way this turned out. It's just going to be a quick, ooh, it got a little drip up there. Just grab it, a finger. Okay, let me show y'all something. So when I first started doing Dixie Belle, I bought a bunch of products, and I had a couple products that I didn't use for a while after I got them. One was the sanding sponge. Let me see if I have one. So I had the sanding sponge for a while, and I didn't use it because I'm like, I have sandpaper. But this is a 220 grit sanding sponge that comes, that we sell. They're very inexpensive. But what I love about these is they last for so long. They're 220 when you get them. But the more you use them, they get like up to 400 grit. But you can wash these. I rinse them. This one you can see is well used, and I'll just continue to use it. But if it gets, like, say this has white on it, if I were going to use this on this door, I would go ahead and rinse it off really good and then let it dry, and then I could use it. But that's one of my favorite things that I didn't realize was going to be my favorite thing. And then the other thing that I have that it's Dixie Belles supplies this, so you can order this through me. But it's called Scrubby Soap, and I know that it's backwards, but Scrubby Soap. So I had this, and I didn't use it. And then one day I had left my brushes out. They were a little bit dry. And so I went ahead and got one out. And I was like, these things, I'm telling you guys, if you paint on a regular, and you need one of these scrubby soaps, okay? So this is the cushion. This is the part that the soap is all in. And this one's just about gone. And I'll tell you, one of my tips is, so this is damp and it's still got a little soap in it. I don't put this underneath the sink. Like, I get it a little damp, and then I use it against my brush to brush it off, and then I put it down, and then I push the soap through the brush bristles. And so I don't run the water through this, so it lasts so much longer if you do it that way. And then it comes in this little container, and so I just pop it back in here, and it stays damp. So it makes it last a lot longer. And we have lemon and orange. They smell great. But I also use it like to clean my sink if I need to. You can use it on pots and pans. I mean, it's a really great product. But I love the little sponges that come with it. And I had an extra one, and so I didn't want to get rid of it. So look what I did. So I make soap also, and I have soap that we have here that I made. And I just melted it in the microwave. That, because when you make soap, you melt it. And I don't make the kind that you use like lye and stuff. I use cold, the melted pour. But I use, this one has like lavender and different scents in it. And so I just kept it in the container and then I poured my soap in here. And now I have this, it's wet because I have it in here, but I just used it. But now I have this scrubby with delicious lavender soap in it. And so I can still use the little pad, okay? So, you know, COVID, I can scrub my hands 20 seconds with this bad boy and I'm all good. I'm all good. So do we have any questions or anything? Oops. I don't know what I just did. Okay. I can't see the comments. And I can't get them back. So I don't know if y'all, have there been any questions or comments or anything? I don't think he's been paying attention. He's fired. And that's okay. I'll catch. So if you've asked me any questions or you put any comments down, as soon as I get off of here, I will come on. And I thought you were looking at it. And I'll answer any questions that you have, and I'll be sure to comment back. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being on here with me today. If you enjoyed my video, please S-H-A-R-E the video. Okay, the video. Facebook doesn't like me to say the words, but they love for you to do the words. So if you could do that, that would really help me out as a small business owner. I don't think people realize how much that act helps us. Some people, like my son's like, I don't want to share your stuff on my page. I'm like, none of your people care. But if you do that, then Facebook says, oh, well, this video must be nice, so we're going to let other people see it. And so that's how some of my local customers found me, was because Facebook put my video into their feed, which I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. They didn't search me out. Facebook gave me to them. So that was pretty cool. So if you don't mind doing that, I really appreciate it. Also, if you want to see my videos and you want to get notified, because right now I'm kind of just popping in. I'm not scheduling right now. I'm not really in a place mentally to do that. So as soon as I get a project, I'm going to pop on here. So if you follow me under the notifications, you can click follow. If you do that, then you'll get a notification when I pop on live. So if you do that, you'll be here to see me. And I'm so happy that everybody came and hung out with me today. Okay. And I'm going to post pictures of this. My husband's anxious for me to get this done because he wants to get it locked tonight. I don't know why. Nobody around here cares about coming in this house, but it's still wet. I can't do anything yet, but when this is dry, I put my second coat on. Oh, my hemp oil. Let me show you that real quick. Darn it. Are there still people on? I am live. I can see it. So this is hemp oil. I am live, right? I mean, I can't tell if y'all are telling me or not. I don't know what happened to my, darn it. It is? Well, it says live, so I don't know. But anyway, this is what I'm putting on when this is dry. This is the hemp oil. And I'll wait till tomorrow to put this on. It's best for me to wait anyway, overnight. So I'll put my second coat of paint on here, and then tomorrow I'll pop in and I'll show y'all how you apply this product. It's a really good product. It's very durable. It's not like your typical wax or anything. You don't have to reapply this, but like maybe, I think it's like 7 years or something like that. It's really second to the Gator Hide in durability. So I will wait to put this on with you guys. Okay. So I'm going to pop off and get my second coat going. All right. It was good to see everybody tonight. Love you. Bye.